Hi everyone, so first video review for this week is for A Fairer Tomorrow by Kathleen Knowles. If you want to check out my review, I have just posted that. So if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below, and if you're on Facebook or on my blog, then there's a link within the post. And this is video review. So this was beautiful. A Fairer Tomorrow, really lovely story. Maddie and Jerry, they meet after leaving home to join the war efforts, and they're on the adventure of a lifetime, but it isn't without boundaries. The war's ending, Maddie and Jerry have choices to make, and then they realise they have feelings for one another, and those choices become a bit more complicated, and the consequences could be really devastating for them both. So many things sort of stand in their way and their new paths in life, and they can't help but wonder if their relationship is all that is at stake at the end of the day. So, as usual, Kathleen's delivered another story that's packed with historical issues that women faced at the end of the war, and there is so much to cover, and she does so with such sensitivity and care, whether it's exploring the factors that separate and affect Maddie and Jerry, because of their race, their sexuality, politics, ignorance, historical things that cause difficulty and upset so many people. You know, there's everything in there, and Kathleen's handled every element of it with complete sensitivity and care. These things happened, and it's great to have stories about them. It not only for those of us that weren't alive at the time, it raises awareness, but it's also good to share those experiences and to explore those stories and know that people had a little bit of hope, even if they were facing difficult times. So Maddie and Jerry's is such an important story to tell. It's touched on ordinary day-to-day life, as well as the strict rules and views that were sort of imposed by the military at that time, and it can still sort of affect people to this day. So it's really important that these stories, like I say, are shared, and Kathleen does it so well. Every time I'm surprised, and I learned something from Kathleen's stories, and so this one wasn't any exception. They demonstrate how strong women were, and you know how they helped in the war efforts, and they were fighting their own personal battles, and they were trying to get their own happiness, and I think that's great. For Jerry, this was more about her professional background. That was providing the obstacles in her being with Maddie, and whereas Maddie, it was family and all sorts of other things going on. So both presented challenges that tested them. It tested their true feelings for one another, and I admire the way they approached each and every one of the situations, because they didn't compromise their own values. They had a lot to consider, and they had a lot of choices to make, but they didn't compromise their values. They stayed true to themselves. So it was a very touching historical romance that had some really wonderful moments that were shared between Maddie and Jerry, the same as it did have challenges they had to face. And it was great to be part of that experience with them, and just know how they tackled this and how they dealt with everything. There's some angst and some heartache, and there were some difficult decisions that just highlighted their determination to overcome all of this if it meant they could be happy together. And I really loved that sort of sentiment of the story. It was really lovely. So I really enjoyed it, and I really hope you will too. Unfortunately, it's difficult to say too much about it without giving away sort of massive bits of the plot line, but I hope you'll check it out and give it a go, because it's a really great story, and I really enjoyed reading it. I really felt like I was there with them and having an experience. So yeah, I really hope you'll check it out. I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of A Fairer Tomorrow by Kathleen Knowles, which I really hope you will. If you've read A Fairer Tomorrow, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please comment below. Please let us know what you thought of the book. And if you haven't read it yet, but you're planning to read it, it's on your to-be read list, or you're now really intrigued and thinking, I really want to read that story, again, it would be great to hear from you. So please comment below, please let us know. And if you do read it, I hope you enjoy it. Bye!